Like, I think now I still feel it while I'm in training camp where I don't want to do nothing wrong. I want to make sure I do everything right when I go inside the ring and train my hardest and be 100%. I'm going to put on an amazing performance. That's all I see. That's all I'm thinking about. This the most focused I really been for a fight. Besides my last fight, this fight and my last fight has been the most focused I've been as far as doing everything the right way. Making sure I don't have no hiccups. So, y'all gonna see a bad motherfucker come November the 16th. Like, I'm hungry still. Like, I'm very hungry. Me at my best, it's hard to deal with for anybody. Anybody who stands in front of me at my best is gonna have a hard time. And let's get it banging. Let's see who the hungry is.
I just spoke with Walling Moses, and I asked him about Shakur's left hand, if it was okay, and he says, yes, it's okay. I actually want him to throw it more, so the offense is coming.
Yeah,
we'll see.
But the problem is, if he throws it, you're exposed. You know, if you miss, you get yourself out of position when you shoot the right or the left hand, the backhand. Because again, he doesn't feel safe throwing that backhand because it'll put him out there.
Cool. Stop going straight back, okay? All right. Now start throwing some combinations and throw some of them straight left hands under and out. All right, trust you. You gotta trust yourself a little bit more. All right.
Breaking news, Shakur Stevenson came out stating, quote, "Y'all know the real. No excuses. Chin up, and I love you all too. Don't worry, next time out, I have something to prove. I promise. Don't forget I have been here before. Maybe now they will fight me, who knows. But time to heal up and enjoy the holidays with my family." End of the quote. Well, after that performance, I'm not sure who's going to want to fight him. However, Shakur followed up after stating that, after saying no excuses, by doing exactly the opposite. He started making excuses. Shakur said, quote, "One hand banded," end of the quote. And despite Shakur stating, "Don't congratulate me after the fight, I welcome all of the heat and the backlash for that performance," well, apparently Shakur already changed his mind, as he came out a day after the fight stating, quote, "Won a world championship belt with one hand against a dangerous fighter. Yeah, okay, hop off my... And you soft N-words talking big now. Come to the table. This is exactly what I wanted, to be honest. Let's get to it. That one bad performance doesn't make me... Don't forget, this same thing happened at 130. End of the quote. Exactly. And Shakur was not injured when he fought Jamaya the exact same way he fought Edwin de Los Santos. It ain't a coincidence. Clearly, every time Shakur fights a power puncher like Jamaya and Edwin de Los Santos, he gets gun-shy. He fights scared because he's afraid of what's coming back. A fan told Shakur Stevenson, quote, "Shakur Stevenson, we don't respect the excuses." And shortly after, Shakur responded with, quote, "Too bad I didn't make none. Laugh out loud." End of the quote. Listen, I'm just happy Shakur did not put that on his daughter, because he clearly made an excuse that he was a one-handed fighter. Pretty much his left hand was injured. Now let's talk about it and let's be real about it. First of all, leading up to the fight, Shakur Stevenson said throughout the lead-up, this was his best training camp. We're gonna see the best version of Shakur. This is what Shakur Stevenson was saying out of his own mouth up to the week of the fight. Shakur said he never felt better and he has never been better than at the moment in time. This is why Shakur was so confident, talking so much trash to Edwin de Los Santos during the press conference and the weigh-in. Think about that. Why would Shakur put even more pressure on himself if he was really injured? That's a rhetorical question. This is why you gotta respect Errol Spence. Even though he lost badly to Crawford, he did not make any excuses. Even Gervonta, when he really broke his hand against Pitbull Cruz, Gervonta was still throwing his left hand. Unlike Shakur, who never let his left hand go even to the body. If your hand really hurts, you're gonna throw it at least to the body, every now and then. However, Shakur didn't because he was afraid of what's coming back. This is no different Then when Lomachenko lost to Teofimo Lopez in an ugly fashion, Lomachenko came out a week after the fight with supposedly an injury, just to save face to why he lost in an ugly fashion. And this is what Shakur Stevenson is doing here. He's just trying to save face. But just like Shakur, Lomachenko said, he was 100% leading up to the Teofimo Lopez fight. Even Shakur's own trainer, when they met Edwin on the hallway.
Ready to put on the show.
He said after the fight, he's going to teach you how to speak Spanish and he's going to teach you how to speak English.
Hey, tell him to stand on everything he said.
You think you're going to be able to talk after the fight?
Shakur's trainer told Edwin and his trainer right in front of Shakur, Edwin DeLos Santos is not going to be able to talk after the fight because Shakur is going to put a beating on him. Therefore, we all know what time it is. Shakur and his trainer are not going to be talking all this hot cake of putting the Beats by Dre on Edwin DeLos Santos if Shakur was really injured. More importantly, Shakur would not be saying he feels at his best. He has never been better, and this has been his best training camp. If there was any sign of an injury, Shakur would not be saying that. Remember, this is not what I said. This is what Shakur Stevenson said. Therefore, how do you explain that? If Shakur was 100% before the Edwin DeLos Santos fight, that means he didn't suffer an injury before the fight. And we all know Shakur did not break his hand during the fight, since he did not throw the left hand that much. And when he did throw it, he barely landed it. So the $1 million question, when did Shakur break his hand? Well, apparently Shakur Stevenson broke his hand after the fight, when he heard the rumblings of Mark Kriegel making excuses for him during the fight by assuming the reason why Shakur is not throwing his left hand is not because he was scared to throw it, but more so because it was injured. And obviously, after the fight, the fans ran with that excuse. So Shakur Stevenson decided to adopt that excuse in order to save face for putting on one of the candidates for the most boring fight in history. This is up there with Fury versus Klitschko, but at least Fury fought Klitschko, who was the best heavyweight of his era. However, here is the problem with this excuse. Shakur and his own team already debunked this excuse before the fight and during the fight. Before the fight, like I told you guys, Shakur said basically he was 100%. He was at his best. But during the fight, when Mark Kriegel assumed the reason why Shakur is not throwing his left hand is because perhaps is injured. Well, they asked Shakur Stevenson trainer in the corner, is Shakur Stevenson left hand okay? Where Shakur trainer Moses responded with, yes, it's okay. I actually want him to throw it more, so Shakur is gonna get active real soon. Check it out.
I just spoke with Walling Moses, and I asked him about Shakur's left hand, if it was okay, and he says, yes, it's okay. I actually want him to throw it more, so the offense is coming.
Yeah,
We'll see.
But the problem is, if he throws it, you're exposed. You know, if you miss, you get yourself out of position when you shoot the right or the left hand, the backhand. Because again, he doesn't feel safe throwing that backhand because it'll put him out there.
Stop going straight back, okay? All right, now start throwing some combinations and throw some of them straight left hands under and out, all right? You gotta trust yourself a little bit more, all right?
This right here 100% debunks the excuse of Shakur left hand being injured. This is why Shakur trainer Moses was telling Shakur in the corner, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself more. Let your hands go. The reason why Moses was telling Shakur that during the fight, after confirming Shakur left hand was okay, was due to the fact Shakur was fighting scared. He was fighting like he was afraid to get hit by Edwin DeLos Santos. That's why. No difference when he fought Jamaya at 130. Like Shakur said, I've been here before. When Shakur fought Jamaya, his hand wasn't injured, just like when he fought Edwin DeLos Santos. What was injured was his confidence. What was injured is his heart. Clearly, Shakur has the defense to be in there with anybody. He has better defense than anybody he's gonna fight pretty much. But maybe he doesn't have confidence in his chin. I don't know why, but he does fight like he's afraid to take a risk every time he fights a huge power puncher like Jemiah and Edwin de los Santos. This is the cold reality. Shakur Stevenson still has the amateur style every time he fights a power puncher. However, styles do make fights. I do believe Shakur when he says, on my next fight, I'm gonna prove you guys wrong. That's 100% true depending on who he's gonna fight. If Shakur fights a fighter with no power nor athleticism that's flat-footed, we're gonna see the best of Shakur. But if he fights someone with power and athleticism, we're gonna see the same Shakur we saw last night against Edwin de los Santos. We're gonna see the same Shakur that we saw against Jemiah. That's not gonna change. See, when Shakur says, I promise my next fight is gonna be different, if Shakur wanna run with this injury excuse, then why doesn't he run it back with Edwin de los Santos in order to show the fans what he can really do with two hands? Since Shakur wanna prove to the fans that wasn't 100% himself. That's why when Shakur was claiming he wasn't 100% in there, that wasn't himself. The media asked him, would you give Edwin de los Santos a rematch then? And Shakur said pretty much, absolutely no. We all know what time it is. If Shakur was really injured, then he will run it back with Edwin in a heartbeat. But the reason why Shakur doesn't want to run it back is because he knows what time it is when it comes to Edwin. We got to give credit where credit is due. We can't take credit away from Edwin. Edwin showed last night he's on the same level as Shakur. He's just as good as Shakur. If you guys think Shakur is special, then Edwin is special. If you guys think Shakur is not special, then you could say Edwin is not special as well. Keep the same energy. Shakur can't discredit Edwin de los Santos by claiming he was injured in order to take away from Edwin de los Santos' performance, how good he looked against Shakur, him being on the same level as Shakur. You can't do that. Edwin de los Santos showed his skill, power, precision, speed, you name it, when he fought Shakur. That's why Shakur was afraid to let his hands go. Like Timothy Bradley said during the fight, Edwin was very reactive. He was looking to counter everything Shakur Stevenson was doing. If Shakur threw the left hand, he will leave himself open to be countered by Edwin de los Santos, especially when Shakur is not even a natural southpaw. So the left hand is not even natural. His right hand is natural, but now the left hand. Man, Shakur during the fight, go back and watch the fight from round 1 to round 6. Shakur was afraid to throw the jab, let alone a left hand. The reason why, because as soon as Shakur threw the jab in the first round, Edwin countered it with his own jab and right hook. After that, that changed the tone of the fight. That's why Shakur fought the way he fought. He fought scared because Edwin de los Santos was in there trying to hurt him with every punch, and Shakur knew it, so he decided not to take any risk. Listen, we all love the sweet science, or most of us do. However, Shakur changed the sweet science from hit and don't get hit to don't hit and don't get hit. This is not what boxing is all about, and Shakur needs to own up to it. Instead of making excuses while claiming he's not making excuses, that's pathetic, especially if Shakur is going to make up excuses that are not even true according to his own self before the fight and to his own trainer during the fight. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Congratulations, Shakur.
There you go. Don't congratulate me on bad performances.
Well, why do you feel it was a bad performance coming from you?
It just wasn't me, man. I had a lot going on. I ain't gonna make no excuses. It was a good fight, just a bad performance, and not my standards.
Is your hand hurt?
I ain't. It's all good. Like I said, I don't make no excuses. I own up to everything. I was supposed to put on a better performance than that.
DeLos Santos do anything to take you out of your game?
Nah, hell no. DeLos Santos was a good fighter. He was just being more so. Y'all act like I was being scary. He was being scary than them too. So.
What adjustments did you have to make in there, if any, prior to what you were thinking you were going to do in the fight?
I just had to take control. There was a certain point in time where I told myself, take control. Don't give him shit, and make sure that I land when I get my opportunity. I'm not gonna make no excuses. I came here tonight. I did what I had to do. We came out victorious. Edwin is a hell of a fighter. I give him his credit. Got good defense, and he's a great fighter.
Are you interested in rematch?
And the rematch with Edwin, I mean, it was a bad night and I won. So
I know it wasn't the performance.
Catch me on the good night, I don't know.
I know it wasn't